welcome back to the FanDuel and DraftKings NBA Value Plays. Today is January 6th, 2017, and we're looking at a nice little 8-game slate. This week has been kind of right up my alley, right in my wheelhouse here with all these mid-range games. Haven't had a monster slate at all yet this week, and that kind of makes it more fun and challenging to play. Can really give you an advantage too if you utilize all the tools over on dailyfantasycafe.com. Optimizing picks and finding some of these values that can be a little bit more important on slates like this week, where the value isn't always there, or the high-end plays aren't always in great spots. So tonight we're going to look at the value plays. We're looking at 8 games, as I said, and the one game I'm kind of leaning towards heavily right now, and a lot of stuff will change. There's a lot of injury news just kind of floating out there that can greatly impact all these picks. So keep that in mind. It's really early here. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning Central Time. So stuff's going to change, and hopefully this will just kind of lay the groundwork with some good picks. Keep tabs on that Cleveland game especially. They may be inclined to rest some of the stars, some of the big three, facing the atrocious Nets team. If they all three play, that's probably going to be game stackable. If one or two of them sit, then we're looking at some solid value plays, who I mentioned in here as well. So with that, let's get right into it. Point guard position, I'm looking at Malcolm Brogdon. The Bucks once again at the Knicks. They just played each other the other night, and he did very, very well. He played 38 minutes and 12 real points, 8 assists, 31.2 FanDuel points in his last game out. Now he's at home. So I think he's kind of a lock for me tonight. Keep tabs on Dellavedova. If he's returns, that could chip away at him a little bit, but I'm still probably going to play him in GPPs just because his price is still pretty good, 4,600. Likely at the shooting guard position on the sites that he's eligible over point guard, because there is other values out there. But the Knicks are just pretty terrible. I mean, they're atrocious against shooting guards. 28th in DVP. So I think he's in a really good spot once again, especially if Delly is out. 4,600 on FanDuel, and we got him projected for 28.9 points tonight. The other option here is Raymond Felton. He's been playing pretty well with a minutes bump since Chris Paul's been out. His last 3 games he's produced 30.8, 30.3, and 18.4 FanDuel points, playing over 33 minutes or more. So once again, he's looking in a good spot. Paul is listed as doubtful for tonight, so Felton is once again on the board. He probably will be pretty chalky tonight. This is one of the games, the Clippers and Kings, that I think is just filled with fantasy goodness and value. Sacramento is actually pretty good against the point. They're ranked 11th in DVP, but that's still allowing 42.2 points of the season, and Felton has just been kind of consistent in playing as a starter. Tonight we got him projected at 27.3 points, and he's only 4,600 on FanDuel. So Felton and Brogdon are my 2 point guard options. Shooting guard, J.J. Redick is back, and he's been shooting very, very well. This is that same game, Clippers and Kings, 4,400 on FanDuel. He's produced 24 plus FanDuel points over his past 2 games. And the Kings are actually ranked 20th in DVP, allowing 36.6 points to the shooting guard position. So Redick and Rivers are both pretty solid options here. I think I'm going to go with Redick, who's been shooting the ball very well. And I think he's going to continue to see minutes and shoot tonight, especially if Paul is out. No Griffin. Redick's going to probably step up and get a lot more shots than normal. 4,400 on FanDuel, 25.8 we got him projected as. That's a good 5x value for sure, with a much higher ceiling. The other pick's a little risky. This is very much dependent on lineup news. But Jordan McRae, the Cavs against the Nets, $3,800, dirt cheap. If any of the big three sit, especially Irving or LeBron, McRae's going to see some minutes and usage, and he's going to be pretty chalky, especially if those guys play. So he's almost a must-play if that is the case. However, I'm probably going to be rolling him in some GPPs either way, even if they all play, because this game could easily be a blowout, And when that's the case, McRae could see some good run in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. And his usage is just through the roof, 25.8 coming off the bench. So if he's on the court for 25 minutes as we're projecting him, he can easily hit 5x value tonight with a much higher ceiling. So Jordan McRae, risky but pretty good solid value pick tonight. We got him projected at 20 points, and like I said, he's 3,800 on FanDuel tonight. Small forward position. This is another one in Cleveland. Cleveland at the Nets. Richard Jefferson, the old man, $3,800 on FanDuel. I'm not really that excited about the small forward value picks tonight, so I kind of use the optimizer here and just kind of rolling with what they give me for now. This is a position I'm definitely going to be following throughout the day for injury news and look for other opportunities. But the Colossus loves it, this guy tonight. The Nets are just terrible on defense all across the board. Jefferson could see some more run in a blowout, just like McRae. With 29 minutes played in his last two games, Jefferson produced 27.4 FanDuel points in one game, but then only 8.2 in the one before that. He's a roller coaster ride. He's old, but he's kind of a crafty vet, and he can probably get it done, especially in a blowout case here. Plenty of risk, but the Nets are 30th in DVP against the small forward position, and if he plays 28 minutes or more, like we're projecting, he could easily hit value at that price tag of 3,800. Matt Barnes is the other option here. Sacramento Kings against the Clippers. Go figure. The same game here. 3,500 on FanDuel, and Barnes is he's going to be a popular pick here with the Colossus. He's projected for 5x potential. To play 28 minutes, and he kind of has been, so that's good. Keep tabs on Rudy Gay, obviously. If that's out, that only boosts Barnes' value, and those minutes should continue to be there. Over his past 3 games, with 28 minutes or around there, he's producing 25.9, 13.9, and 33.1 FanDuel points. So, in all reality, Barnes has a floor of 4x, which is pretty good, and the ceiling's much higher. So, Barnes is another solid small forward value play tonight. At the power forward position, I'm going with my guy Markieff Morris, probably the most volatile player, one of them in the NBA in fantasy. But tonight I'm going to give it a shot. I have a feeling tonight's Morris night against my beloved Timberwolves. 4,900 on FanDuel. He plays the minutes, and like I said, he's just the most volatile guy. He can just dominate a game or just like be average or mediocre and not even come close to 3x or 4x value. So tonight, though, I'm thinking he can hit it. The Wolves are pretty good defensively against the power forward position. They're ranked 10th in DVP, but his usage rate of 20.8 and the minutes, like I said, are just there. I think he's going to be a somewhat safe play and a good pivot, especially in GPPs. I think people shy away from the Morris brothers just because of their volatility, but tonight, 4,900 on FanDuel. We got projected for 27.72 FanDuel points. So that's some good value once again. That's 5x or more. James Johnson of the Heat. This is probably my favorite value play of the night. He's a little spendier, 5,500, but Johnson has been an absolute beast over his past 3 games. He missed 1 game with illness in between there, but he didn't seem groggy at all. His last game on Wednesday, he cranked out 33.2 FanDuel points, and he's actually averaging 33 plus over his past 3 games with only 24 minutes or more. His price is going up a bit, but tonight this is just simply too good to pass up. Johnson's in a dreamy spot. He's probably going to be pretty chalky tonight, so you may as well jump in on that. The Lakers are ranked 29th in DVP. It's just too good to pass up. He could obviously throw up a clunker randomly here, but the way he's been playing, you got to roll with him. We got him projected for 24.75 fantasy points tonight, but that obviously has much higher ceiling for Mr. James Johnson. And let's see here, to wrap it up here, we're looking at the center position, and I'm going back to my guy Joakim Noah. The Knicks at the Bucks, $5,100 on FanDuel. Noah's just kind of like Johnson. He's just been a beast. I don't know if he found the fountain of youth or what the deal is, but he's been kind of unstoppable over his past 5 games. His past 3 games, he's only had one dud, the 10.2 FanDuel points in his last 6. But other than that, I mean, he's been producing monster games, 30 points plus at 5,100. You know, that's almost a guaranteed 6x. I think tonight 5x is as safe as it comes for floor, and he's just going to keep producing as long as he's getting those minutes, crashing those boards. It's hard not to play Noah. Tonight's one of those slates where all the big names are very expensive and kind of difficult to guarantee that they're going to meet value every night. Like a guy like DeMarcus Cousins is in a really good spot. It's hard not to play him, but his cost is so much that he could easily not hit value, and then you're hurting in the rest of your lineup. So being able to plug in a guy like Noah and some other values, and then maybe go fair and balanced is the way to go tonight. But Noah's averaging 1.01 fantasy points a minute. He's been playing 30 plus minutes. I think you just got to keep rolling with Noah while he's hot. So that is that for the fantasy value picks tonight. Good luck, everyone, and have a good weekend.